Hello Eurovision friends, thank you so much for coming to my channel Eurovision Histories for my prediction of semi-final 1. I am so excited. Eurovision has really started when you start doing the prediction for the semi-finals. Semi 1 is happening tomorrow and I want to do a tier list of the qualifiers. We have sure qualifier, likely qualifier as categories, then borderliner as well, likely non-qualifier and non-qualifier. I haven't prepared this video, so we will develop this as we go, or I will. And then at the end of the video, I have to have 10 in the qualifier or likely qualifier category and 5 in the likely non-qualifier or non-qualifier category. While we're talking about the songs, I will put the ones that I'm not sure in the borderline category, and then we can talk about that at the end of the video again. And I have to put them either in qualify or non-qualify. So what we have to remember is these are televote only semifinals. I put these songs in the running order as well, so we can have that in the back of our heads. And so televote friendly songs have a bit of an edge. Songs a bit later in the running order have a bit of an edge, but that's really all there is to it. And when we talk about borderliners and whether they qualify or not, we'll also look a bit at voting history, at the different diaspora groups that are voting in the semifinal, because Spain, Italy, and Switzerland are also voting in the semifinal, and that might be happening, might be important for the prediction. So first of all, we have Iceland Vibe with Roa, such a fun, energetic performance. The staging is apparently so good. I have some friends who were at the dress rehearsal just now. They interact with the graphics in the background. It's a bit of like a computer game, they told me, the graphics in the background. It's not just the boat and the choreography from the national final. So this will be a lot of fun. I think the song is incredibly catchy. It has grown a lot on me recently. It's first in the running order. That might be a bit of a detriment, but overall, I think this is so televote friendly that I will put this in borderline for now. For me personally, it would be a qualifier, I think, but so many people say it won't, so we'll see at the end of the video where I'll put it. Then, after Iceland comes Poland, Justina, and Gaia. Again, a very energetic performance. It's not fun like Iceland, but it's a lot. So much is happening. Choreography, she does a lot of acrobatics, but she still sings this incredibly well. And after Iceland, that will shine, I think. And I think after seeing the dragon in the rehearsal clip, that graphic, casual viewers will just love that. It will remind them of fantasy shows of Game of Thrones and stuff like that. I know the dragon was made by a Polish designer. Thank you for telling me that, subscribers, after I said it looked like the Game of Thrones one. But I think this will be memorable for people. It is in the death spot, like Nina, who's the other returnee this year as well. And I had this as a non-qualifier before, but now I would put this for now in the borderline category. I'm not going to put everything there, I promise you, because I have to see which other countries there are that might overtake this in the end, but we shall see. Next up, after two very intense performances, we have Clayman, How Much Time Do We Have Left for Slovenia? Very stripped down staging, song as well, a ballad with very direct and simple lyrics, which I think will help with the televote a little bit. The whole emotional story of the song will get some people to vote for it, I think. And the fact that he has his wife on stage, I think most people will understand who that is, and that he's singing to her will add to the emotional impact of this performance. However, I also think that it might be a bit too much for some people, including me. I think it's a bit too trying to get all the emotion out of there. And he sings this really well, though, but coming after such high-intensity performances, this might look a bit pale. And so I would put Slovenia actually in the non-qualifier category for now. Sorry, Slovenia. Then we have Tommy Cash with Espresso Macchiato. You know my opinion about the song. I really don't like it, but it is incredibly catchy. This is charting in a lot of countries already. Lots of people are talking about it. I got questions from friends that don't know anything about Eurovision, but they heard about this song. And so there is just no way that this doesn't qualify. I think it has the fun element with the security guards. The staging is very special and out there and memorable also. And Italy and San Marino are voting in the semifinal. A lot of Italians said that they were offended by this, but others like it, and it is charting in Italy. So I would expect at least a few points from there. And who else is voting here? None of the Baltic neighbors. But anyway, Estonia doesn't need that. I think this is a sure qualifier at this point. Then we have Esa Diva from Spain. She obviously, Melody, she obviously doesn't have to qualify, but I wanted to include it just so we see the pacing of the show a little bit as well, because next up we have Ukraine with Bird of Prey. I think they suffer a bit from coming after Melody because they are very visually intense performances and also vocally special performances, I think. So I do think that Ukraine might struggle a bit there. But Ukraine has a 100% qualification rate in Eurovision history, the only country that has that. There are lots of Ukrainians living all over Europe, and the song is about them. So they will feel like the song is speaking to them and vote for it. And I also think it is a rock song that has a lot of special elements, yes, but I think this could do rather well, better than the Eurovision fan bubble thinks it will in the end. And so this is a very sure qualifier, actually more than, can I do that? Yeah, actually more than Estonia. And I can say this right from the start, the running order gives us another sure qualifier after Estonia and Ukraine in Kai, Barabarabastu, and Sweden. This song is charting in a lot of countries. It's #1 in the odds. It is incredibly fun. It is very televote friendly. So in this semifinal, it should work 100%. Finland is not voting in the semifinal. But it will be able to vote for this in the final because there's just no way that this doesn't make it. So let's put Sweden, and actually I think it's even more likely than Ukraine, in the sure qualifier category. And this is such a change for them from being the absolute underdogs in Melody Festival, and now they're the big favorites to win the bigger competition, Eurovision. So if that actually happens, it will be such a moment, I think. And then we have Portugal, Napa with Deslocado. The qualification streak might end here. This is a big favorite of a lot of Portuguese people because of the lyrics about leaving where you are from, trying to make it in the big city and then returning home, which makes me think that this might speak a lot to the Portuguese diaspora in this case. We have Switzerland, we have Spain. Unfortunately, no, Luxembourg is not in here, but I think this could be 20 points or something from these two countries. Because they just like this song and they understand what the lyrics are about. The issue I have with the staging is they're not explaining really what the song is about. There's a bit of, we saw that in the 30-second clip, a cityscape coming up. But if you don't speak Portuguese and you don't know the band, you will not understand what the song is about. And so it could feel a bit boring. But it is also one of the two only real ballads in the semifinal, and I just can't quite see that we don't have a single ballad qualify. And I already predicted that Slovenia will not make it. Everyone is predicting this not to qualify, so I'm not 100% sure what to do. So I'll put it in the borderline one. But I think this profits actually from the diaspora a little bit here. Then after Portugal, something completely different again, Kyle Alessandro with Lighter for Norway. This is the only sort of radio-friendly, kind of generic English pop song in the semi-final, maybe Cyprus as well. But this is the kind of song that the casual viewer, I think, will like a lot because it sounds like songs they know, that they hear on the radio. And Kyle Alessandro is also a great, great performer. The staging is good. The outfit is good. The lighting, look at this image, is just incredible. And so I think that Norway will... I'll put it in likely qualifier for now. but Norway is most certainly going to make it to the final. Then, after Norway, it gets more intense. We have Red Sebastian with strobe lights and incredible staging. I've heard from the arena as well that this is very high intensity and very well done. And the 30-second clip I really, really loved. I think it was the best rehearsal clip and the most surprising sort of all the rehearsals. The song is quite high intensity for some televoters maybe, but it also stays memorable and people will remember this song when they pick up the phone and vote for their favorites. So I will put Belgium in the likely qualifier pile, unless the vocals are completely off, but I don't really see that happening for Red Sebastian. Then something that breaks the intensity, which is good. Lucio Corsi, Volevo essere un duro, obviously doesn't have to qualify. But then right after that, we have another pop song, and I think Italy is quite good there to break up this line of male-led pop songs. Also, lots of male performers. I should also think about that later on for the prediction. Mama Gamma Run With You, I was very underwhelmed by the staging. I really liked the song. I think it's catchy. I think it sounds modern. I think it's cool. I think they have a lot of charisma. And so I predicted this to qualify, to be a shock qualifier. But after seeing the staging, I think they kind of went in the wrong direction with this, and it will just not be memorable enough. I think actually this is a non-qualifier. It will not be memorable enough because it just doesn't look expensive enough or good enough. Unfortunately, I really like this song. Then we have Gabri Ponte, Tutta l'Italia for San Marino. San Marino always struggles to qualify. They don't have any televote support usually, but this is a Sanremo entry. It's almost a second Italian entry. So this should get high points from Italy. It should get some points, I think, also from Albania, because they watch Sanremo, and then all the Italians around Europe might go for this as well. Gabri Ponte is a star. The staging is better than I expected it to be. There are some images of Italy that could remind some televoters of their vacation there, which hopefully was good. And the song is just incredibly catchy and it's just such a fun song. The traditional elements that are weaved in there, but you don't really notice. So there is a reason this was a hit in Italy after Sanremo as well. The staging, I said, is not the best staging I could have imagined for this, but it's also not the worst. I think they found a good way to do the DJ thing without making it too awkward. I hope that is true for the whole 3 minutes as well. And so for now, I'll put San Marino, I think, unfortunately, will always be in the borderline category because it's San Marino. They're so small. No one really, they don't have diaspora. They don't have a lot of neighbors. They have exactly one. So yeah, but I'll see whether they qualify at the end of the video. Then Škoda Electronica and Germ. I have said everything about this song. I did a lyric interpretation video. This song is amazing. It has an incredible melody. She has all the charisma you need to sell this. He is much better than in the national final, much more confident now. And Albania has gotten an incredible deal here. Italy is in the semifinal, which usually votes for them. Switzerland is in here. And lots of other, Slovenia, Croatia will probably like this song. Cyprus, I could see going for this. Italy, I already said Italy, I think. Anyway, Albania is, for me, a sure qualifier. Maybe below Estonia, but still quite a sure qualifier. And look at this dress. She's just, yeah, amazing. Then Claude and C'est la vie for the Netherlands. This was one of the contenders for the win. And then we saw the 30-second rehearsal clip, and people went nuts. I did criticize the vocal performance, and I didn't quite get the staging either, but I think people went way overboard with this. He is still a great singer. He will sing this well. I heard from the people in the arena that he sang this well, and the staging looks very expensive. There's apparently also a moment at the end that made people quite emotional, I saw on Twitter. And that is important for a televote-only semifinal. The song is incredibly catchy. It tells his personal story, so televoters will be able to connect to this. He had to delete his Instagram because people were sending him so many negative messages, and I just hope now for revenge alone that he makes it. And I do believe that the Netherlands are a likely qualifier as well. 2 more to go, Croatia and Cyprus. Speaking about revenge, let me get back to the images. Speaking about revenge, we have Poison Cake with Marko Božňák. This is last in the odds in the semifinals and also for the winner's odds. Not a lot of people have a lot of confidence in this. I think this looks quite good. It is very late in the running order, which could help it quite a bit. And it's followed by Switzerland, which could make this stand out even more. Both of them actually will be helped by that. The graphics and everything remind me of Rim Tim Tagidim a bit. Maybe some televoters will think, oh, this is a bit similar. I liked it. Let's vote for this. I think the main problem here, and he is a much better performer now. The vocals are better as well. He's more confident. The problem here, I think, is the song, which a lot of people might not be able to connect to. I'm not sure how much the staging does to help people connect to the song. I'm still a bit worried, but I have this as a likely non-qualifier. It could be a shock qualifier, but I don't really see it at the moment. Then we have Zoeme with Voyage, a very stripped-down performance, which will help both Croatia and the entry coming after it, Cyprus. Theo Evanensch. I'm not a huge fan of the song, but I think a lot of people will connect to this. He has a lot of charisma as well, and they have this very impressive staging with the Vitruvian Man, with the acrobatics on the scaffolding. It's last in the running order. It's very televote friendly, so I don't see how this doesn't make it. So those were all the countries competing, but now I have some sorting to do. Yeah. Sweden, Ukraine, Estonia, Albania are sure qualifiers. I agree with that. Azerbaijan, Slovenia are non-qualifiers. Also, Slovenia, I'll put this in likely non-qualifier, because if people really connect to the message of this, it could actually make it, but maybe not. Then Norway, Belgium, Netherlands, I'm quite sure about. And so we have 7, so I need 3 more to qualify. I'll put Belgium in the sure qualifier, and then 3 more. I think Poland makes it. I think Cyprus makes it, because Cyprus is so late in the running order. Poland, because of the dragon. I think people will remember the dragon, will remember her voice and her acrobatics, and be quite impressed by that. I think Poland could also get some diaspora support as well. And then Iceland or San Marino is really the question that's left. Iceland has Sweden and Norway. San Marino has Italy and Albania. I don't know. But San Marino has better vocals, and Iceland is very early on in the running order. So I think that's maybe what decides this. So my prediction for qualifiers are Sweden, Ukraine, Estonia, Albania, Belgium, Norway, Netherlands, Poland, Cyprus, and San Marino. And the non-qualifiers are Portugal, Croatia, Slovenia, Iceland, and Azerbaijan, even though that gives us no ballot qualifying from the semifinal, which would be a first. And both female-led songs also qualify. That makes a lot of sense in this Sausage Fest semi-final. So that is my prediction. I will watch the dress rehearsal of semi-final 1 tonight and give you an update tomorrow what I saw, and maybe update my prediction if I see something that is really changing my mind. I don't think so. But yeah, let me know your prediction in the comments for this video, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.